Welcome to another episode of your favorite libertarian. Today we're going to be talking about my Faro Concepts Slickster. This is my Faro Concepts Slickster. I'm going to talk about a few things in this video. The first thing is going to be the features of this plate carrier. Secondly, we'll talk about setup. And when I say setup, I mean that in two variations. The first one is how to set this up just when you get it, how to size it, how to put it together, how the plates go in, how to adjust the straps here, straps down here. And then the second aspect of that is going to be how to set it up for you. And I can't tell you how to set it up for you, I can just tell you how I've set it up. Maybe there's some things that you like from that, maybe there's some things that you would change, but for me, this is what works, this is what I like, and I will talk about all the different accessories. I'll go over prices of everything too, just so you have an idea if you want this exact setup, how much that would cost. And I'll talk about my long-term impressions because this particular plate carrier I haven't owned for a very long time, but this exact plate carrier in Multicam Black I've owned for years, and I actually ran heavier plates in that one that I do in this one and read it through a bunch of classes. So I have a lot of data as far as how it holds up, how it breathes in the heat, all sorts of things like that. So we'll get into that portion of the video. That'll be at the end. But first we're going to talk about the features. Welcome to a shot of my torso. This shot makes it possible to talk about all of the features. First we'll start with the weight. This is a very lightweight plate carrier, and it is light because of a few things. One is that it doesn't have a bunch of MOLLE or zippers or buckles, which is great because I don't need any of that. It has Velcro. It has cuts, so if you want to add swift clips, you can, or if you want to add these hooks here that work with some of the Faro Concepts accessories, you can, but it's very slick, it's very low profile, and there's not a whole lot of material, which is great. You just have this front panel, accessories not included. You got Velcro up here, Velcro down here, you've got some mesh backing, and then you have your elastic cummerbund, and it looks the same on the back. Now you can get the back, instead of it being slick and Velcro, you can get it with MOLLE, or you can get it with zippers. So there's modularity there as far as what Faro Concepts offers and can sell you as far as the back panel goes. And then to attach it to the top and the bottom, it's just going to be these shoulder straps and then the elastic cummerbund. So you can configure it ways that you want to, but if you're just buying the Slickster as is, you have the option to either buy it the way that I have it without these accessories, or with the MOLLE, or with the zipper, I think, at the filming of this video. So I say all that to say that it's very lightweight because there's not a whole lot of material. It's not made to hold a ton of weight. If you want to understand philosophy of use for different kinds of plate carriers, T-Rex arms, Lucas has a great video on that when he released his AC1 plate carrier. So check out that video if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to them, subscribe to them because they have a ton of awesome content. And they make really cool products. I'll actually be reviewing some of the other products that I have that I bought from them before I even started a YouTube channel that I run that I really like. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about this plate carrier. It's also very comfortable. And a big reason for that is the elastic cummerbund system. This is elastic, so it stretches. And that means you can have it really tight to your body, and it's not going to move around on you, but then when you're breathing, as your ribs are going up and down, as your lungs are expanding and contracting, it is moving with you. And that's not just when you're breathing, but also when you're turning, bending over, doing whatever. It's going to move with you, which makes it really comfortable. And then just this material is very comfortable on your sides, as opposed to some of the harder MOLLE type things. It's also not as breathable, so just keep that in mind. It's not going to be as breathable as like the Crye mesh and little straps. So something to think about. I'll say this is easy to adjust with an asterisk, and the asterisk is for the shoulder straps. The shoulder straps I'll show you when we get to the setup portion, but you have to feed Velcro into Velcro, and you get like a little plastic card that's kind of a skinny credit card that's provided, and you have to separate the two with that card and adjust it, and then let the Velcro hook and loop touch each other, and then that adjusts one strap, and you have to do that for both sides. It's kind of a pain. The good news is once you adjust it, it's not going anywhere. The bad news is when you get it, you're going to have to adjust it initially, and you're probably going to go through some trial and error to figure out what works best for you. So that's the hard part. The easy part of adjustability is the cummerbund system. You just have Velcro. This is Velcro. This is Velcro. That's Velcro. I go from in from the right hand side, so I just have it so all of this is staged exactly where I want it, and then when I want to put it on, I just have the side already off, slip into it from this side, and then put this on, drop this down, and it's on. So very easy to get in and out of it. As far as adjustability in the back, you have these two ends of the cummerbund from the other end, and you just put this evenly on the loop Velcro on this side so that it's exactly where you want it, it's comfortable, and it's sized the way that you want it sized, and that doesn't move. So pretty adjustable. Also, this is very modular. You have these cutouts here. These will allow for the Swift clip system stuff. So you get those little clips, and you put the Halo Strategic, chest rigs on, and all the other accessories. And then if you want to run what Faro Concepts uses for their placards, it's this little hook. I like these better than the clips because the clips seem to get in the way when I'm trying to shoulder stuff because they sit a little bit higher, and this sits lower, but it's also very low profile, so it's not going to get in the way when you're taking mags out, putting them in, etc. And it's going to be very low profile, high speed, low drag. So you've got the modularity there. You've got Velcro, so any type of Velcro accessories that you have, like a dangler or whatever else, will work with this. And you also, like I mentioned before, have the ability to switch out the back panels for a bunch of different ones with zippers or MOLLE or whatever. So a lot of modularity there, which I really like. This placard I actually interchange between this plate carrier and my Faro Concepts chest rig, which I'll have a review on as well. So it's just nice to have that modularity between different systems. Lastly is the price. This plate carrier, accessories not included, is $157.95 on Faro Concepts website. It's out of stock right now, not surprisingly. If you are looking for something that's probably in stock or more likely to be in stock, the T-Rex Arms AC1, Armor Carrier 1, is $190. So if you want to pay a little bit more, there's a couple differences that I can see right off the bat. This isn't a comparison video by any means. I don't own the other one, so I can't in good conscience give you a comparison video on it. But from what I can tell, it has an elastic cummerbund like the other one has an elastic cummerbund. It uses Velcro like the other one uses Velcro. There are some differences, and I haven't run that, so it might be amazing and 100 times better than this, but I can't tell you right now. I can just tell you, if you're looking for something with similar features, then the AC1 is $190. This one is $157.95. Now let's talk about setup and accessories. All right, so this is pretty much how it comes. When you get it, you'll need to adjust the shoulder straps and the cummerbunds, but this is what it looks like. You've got a big Velcro panel or Velcro section. This is loop. This is loop as well. It's got a pretty big spot for patches and stuff like that, but then you have also where you put your Swift clips or any other attachment systems. And you have 2 cuts here, 2 cuts here, 2 cuts here, 2 cuts there. On the back side, you have this really nice mesh material. It's very breathable. It has a little tiny bit of padding, which is nice. So that's your front panel. On the inside of the front panel, to put any type of plates in there, you got this strap and then some loop Velcro. And this is really nice for keeping this Velcro piece from coming out, because the weight of the plate that's pushing on this piece is going to want to pull the plate down, and that strap inside helps keep that from happening. So you've got Velcro on this side, then you've got your hook Velcro here. So what you would do is you would put the plate in, you would put this over your plate, get it as tight to the top as you can, and then you would put those 2 pieces of Velcro together. And I haven't had any issues of the plates coming out on me, and hopefully you won't either. So that's the front. We get to the back. Oh, I should also mention before we get to the back, you've got your cummerbunds. So this is hook, you put it on the loop, and then same thing for this side. What I do is I keep this side open, and then I just come in here, put my head in, put this one over here, and then I have my plate carrier all on. So for the back, you'll adjust this back panel the same way. The front of the cummerbund, you'll be able to tell because it has these little handles on it. The back is just a square piece. Depending on when you get your plate carrier, it might have this be the same in the front and the back, but as far as when I bought mine, it still has these. So you just put this over the very big, same size as the front panel of Velcro, and then this top piece is actually Velcro all the way across because you don't have any hook systems that you have to incorporate. So if you have a big patch that you want to put on the back like I did, you can do that, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. You also have these openings to put magazines in or whatever else. I really like what T-Rex Arms did with theirs, in that they had, for the first one, it's a really small one for like flashlights or pistol mags or whatever. Snickers bars is what they recommend putting in there. And then you have one for an actual AR-15 magazine, and then you have one that's wider for medical or something like that. So I really like that they incorporated that into theirs, and I think eventually they are going to sell them separately and you can switch them out, but this is what comes with it. And that's pretty much the setup for the cummerbunds. Adjustability for the shoulder straps. You have this opening here, and if you look on the underside, you have loop Velcro. So you have hook on the inside of here. This piece here is the hook Velcro. So what you have to do is you get a little card and you have to wedge your finger to get it started, and then you get the card, and then you can move this in or out and then push it down, and that adjusts your shoulder strap. So that's the plate carrier itself. Now we'll talk about the accessories that I've incorporated. All right, so now that I've got it stripped down to the bare bones, I'll go ahead and put all my stuff back on it and in it. And in doing so, I will talk about what those items are, why I like them, and how much they cost. So first, let's start with the patches. On the front, I have a Condor Outdoor American flag OD green patch. This was, I believe, $5, and I think I got it on Amazon. On the back, I have my We the People patch for obvious libertarian reasons. And this was from Tactical Gear Junkie. If you go to tacticalgearjunkie.com, link will be in the description below. They make a ton of custom patches, so you just tell them what you want it to say, what colors, what type of lettering, all that stuff, and they'll make it for you. I believe this Shipped and customized was $21, and they also have tons of other patches that you can just buy. So tacticalgearjunkie.com, We the People patch, and then the next thing we should probably do is put some plates in here. So let's go ahead and do that. So these are the plates that I'm currently running. These are made by ShotStop, and these are the ShotStop Duridium GT 10x12 multi-curve shooter's cut. These are 4.5 pounds a piece, which is considerably less than the weight that I was carrying when I had my steel plates from AR500. I believe those were 9 pounds a piece and a little bit thinner than this. This is still pretty thin for what it is, but these GTs, as the name might suggest, stop green tip, and they stop all the way up to M855A1 green tip, which is pretty radical. So I can give you pricing as far as what you can pick up today that's similar to this. These have a new model out called the G2, which similar as far as performance, but are a little bit lighter than these ones. And those you can get for around 500-ish a plate, depending on where you find the deals, all that stuff. I got these for considerably less because they were just phasing these out just as the new ones were coming out. So I bought these right before the G2s came out, but I have no regrets. These are super light compared to the plates that I was running, and it stops a ton of stuff and has multiple hit capability. So really like ShotStop, not only for their cutting edge armor tech, but also excellent customer service. They really helped me as far as sizing and what type of cut and curve and everything. So these are the multi-curve shooter's cut, so I can shoulder things and do pistol stuff really easily. So love these plates. To pair with the plates, I have the First Spear 10x12 padded plate backer. These are $25 a piece, and I like them because they have a really thick channel for airflow, and they've got padding, so they're really comfortable on the body. And together, that's the thickness that you're looking at, but I'll take that profile to have airflow in the summer and have that comfort. So we'll go ahead and put these in. All right, so next up is the Dangler. This is a Krydex tactical drop pouch. That's not all the name. It's a really, really long name. You can get these on Amazon for 20 bucks. I have a full video on what I keep in this and the comparison between this and the Spirit of Systems SAC. If you look at it at all, you can tell it's very similar in how it looks and functions and operates and all that good stuff. So if you are looking for some type of drop pouch, check out my video in the description below on this, and probably at the end of this video there'll be a link to this video as well. So for this, all we need to do to attach it, take this piece off like I'm getting ready to put it on, center this on the Velcro right here. Seems pretty centered. And then put your strap over. And there you go. So there's the Dangler, 20 bucks. Check out the video. Now the last piece is going to be a way to hold magazines. This is the K-Tar front flap. This is made by Vero Concepts as well, and it is $93.80 on their website right now, currently out of stock, along with the Slickster. So you've got tons of Velcro on the back. This is all Velcro. You have these little tabs to pull it off and on easily. You have a bunch of cuts here, so if you want to add any attachments to the front, you can. It normally, and it does ship with bungees, so if you're jumping out of airplanes or something, they're not going to fall out if you're doing cartwheels, they're not going to fall out. But it actually has really good retention already because it has the Haley Strategic Kydex inserts. So really good for mag retention and re-indexing. To attach these, you've got these little hooks here. Just put these through the holes. And then drop it down. There you go. Now you have a place to put your mags. La-da-dee. La-da-da. Now I will model my plate carrier setup as we calculate the total price if you want this exact setup minus some variation for the pricing of the plates. There you go. You can get this entire setup for this much money. We're gonna get into the long-term impressions in a sec, but first I just want to take a little bit more time on the pricing aspect. Pricing is relative. That number might have seemed like a lot to you or not that bad to you. But one thing I will let you know is that that is the worst case retail price. So if you look for deals, you can probably get everything for under $1,000. And if you are looking at other options, you can get even lower than that. So there's a Spiritus system rig, there's this rig, there's the T-Rex arms stuff, and I would say the biggest variation in cost is going to be the plates themselves. So if you're trying to get a plate and plate carrier combo and you're trying to find a really good deal, I'd recommend checking out T-Rex arms because they have the AC1 and HESCO plates for around $600, which is pretty crazy, having a setup that's going to stop a rifle round from entering your body for $600. That's the price of a brand new Glock 19 and you'd have plates. So that's pretty sweet. So I'd recommend checking that out if you're looking for something that's a little bit more budget friendly, but still really good. One thing that you don't want to make the mistake of doing is skimping so much that you don't have the proper protection for the situations that you're preparing for. So that's something to keep in mind. Pricing, again, is going to be based on what you can afford still, but you want to make sure you have the money where you should have it. So if you've got an extra rifle that you're not using, you could sell that and get this set up. If you have an extra handgun that you're not using, you could easily sell that in probably a matter of seconds in this political climate. Have the money you need, wait until the AC1 and those plates come back in stock, get them, and you'll be set up and ready for success. So that's a little bit on the pricing piece of it. And also, just a quick note is that you can afford more than you think you can if you budget and you save your money and you prioritize your spending. The next thing I want to make sure that is covered is the weight of this setup. And the reason I want you to know that is because it's going to matter based on your stature, your stamina, your fitness levels, if this is even going to make sense to wear at all. You might be better suited with a chest rig based on health conditions and just how in shape or not in shape you are, because this without the dangler is 14.6 pounds, with the dangler is 15.4 pounds. So that's something to consider, because if you don't train, if you don't work out in your gear, and you don't run in your gear, and you don't actually go to classes with your gear, you're not going to know if you're going to be able to run this effectively and have it be something that's helping you in a real world situation as opposed to hindering you or holding you back. Obviously, it's good to be able to have rifle protection and handgun and shotgun, etc. protection, but if you're going so slow that you're gonna get shot in other places anyways, it doesn't really matter. So make sure that you're working out in your gear, you're testing your gear, You're making sure that it works for you and your body type and your fitness levels, and bring those fitness levels up so that you can run gear like this and you can be effective and ready to go if something were to happen where you would need rifle plates. Good rule of thumb is if you are using a rifle and you're in a situation where you're using a rifle, you're probably in a situation where you need plates to stop rifle rounds. Now on to long-term impressions. I have owned this particular plate carrier and one in a different color, combination probably 2+ years now. I have run them in classes, and I have also worked out in them quite a bit. So I can say that when I had heavier plates, which were I think 9 pounds-ish a piece, and ran that in a rifle class, I didn't have any issues with any tearing or stretching or stitching coming undone or discoloration with sweat, because you're probably going to sweat if you're in a class and you're wearing plates and you're moving around. So no issues there. Longevity wise, as far as 2+ years, good to go. Durability wise, good to go. Now we'll talk about some of the things that I maybe would want to change if it were up to me. I had unlimited funds and resources and the ability to sew really well. And those would be the shoulder straps, the cummerbund, and the padding. So the shoulder straps, I would just want an easier way to adjust these. That's pretty much it, my only critique. The cummerbunds, I would like to see more companies doing what G-Rex Arms is doing and have different size pockets. So I would change the size pockets to best fit my needs. And then the last thing would be the padding. Just having more padding already integral to the plate carrier. I understand that would add more weight, but it would also mean I would have to purchase additional padding to go behind the plates. And I understand the reasons for backers, but the primary reason for the backer for mine, because my plates are standalone in that you don't need a backer because of the material. The backer that I have primarily is for airflow and padding, just so it just feels better on my body, because I'm really sensitive and I just want to feel really nice. So those would be the only things I would change. For the price, I wouldn't change anything, but if I was able to get all sorts of free extras in this without having to pay more, those are the things that I would do. So the last thing I'll leave you with before we get to the outro and final thoughts will be the reasoning for owning a plate carrier. If you've gotten this far in the video, you probably already have your reasons, but for those of you who are wondering, I own a plate carrier because I need something to carry my plates in. That's the obvious reason. The reason past that is I own plates because I want to be able to stop rounds from entering my body. Yeah, it's still going to hurt, still going to be bruising, but it's going to stop those rounds from penetrating my skin and vital organs and making it so I can't last as long in a fight for my life and the lives of people that I care about. So this for me is so that if there is any type of situation where I am having to pick up a rifle, it's probably going to be a situation where rifle rounds are coming at me, and I want to have the best chance of winning that particular encounter. So that's pretty much the reasoning for me. I would guess that most people that own something like this have the same type of reasoning. It's not as much of a stigma around not being military or law enforcement and having this kind of stuff. It's really nice to see that it's become a lot more mainstream. Plates, plate carriers, nods, SBRs, AR pistols, suppressors, all that stuff. It's just, it makes sense. You want to have the most edge and the most advantage in a gunfight, and all of these tools allow you to do that. So if you are going to get something like this, make sure you train with it, most importantly. That's all I got on the subject as of why, though. Well, that's going to do it for me and the Faro Concepts Slickster. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Check the description for all the links to everything that you need as far as videos and other parts of this setup. If you run something differently, or if you run something different, let me know what and why in the comment section below. Other than that, be sure to like so that we trick all the YouTube algorithms that are anti-freedom and people are able to see this video in their search results and get this content. Also share, that helps a lot. And be sure to click the notification bell. I make new videos every week. And if you want to be notified of that, that is how you make that happen. Save up your money, prioritize your funds so that you can eventually get to this. This wasn't something that I just was able to do right away. I had to work my way up to this setup and save up and sell some things to be able to make this happen. That's really it though. Stay free,